Welcome to the Food for Thought series, where we'll be sitting down with current thought leaders in the data and analytics space to offer you a valuable insight into how they run their practices and their experiences. In today's main interview, we'll be sitting down with Hazel, who is the head of data insights at Bella and Duke, and we'll be getting Hazel's insights on how organizations can quickly demonstrate value from data quality and how you can really gain that stakeholder buy-in. So welcome to the interview series, Hazel.
Hi.
Hello.
Thanks for having me.
It's okay. Let's set the scene for our audience today. Tell them a little bit about yourself and what Bella and Duke are all about.
Yeah, sure. So I'm Hazel, like say, head of data insights at Bella and Duke. I joined the business around 18 months ago to look after all things data in our business. I guess I earned my data stripes in large organizations, so background in working for large energy companies, the government, so really big organizations, and took the leap to a startup just as we are in that growth phase from startup to scale up, or teenager to adult is how we often talk about it. Bella and Duke, we are the UK's leading raw pet food subscription company. I guess the special thing about us is our users, our pets, who actually aren't our customers. So the big thing we want to do is we want to understand our pets better to help their humans make the right decisions for them. And I guess my role within Bella and Duke is, as I said, everything data. So I came in to establish and lead the data function and fundamentally unlock the goldmine of customer data that we have as a direct consumer business to drive our continued growth. As that new function in an SME, we have multiple challenges. Lots of ones that were new to me as moving from a big organization to an SME. But I guess, yeah, one of the ones is, like you say, the one we're here to discuss today. So that's sort of how to rapidly demonstrate value from your data, prove the value in your data function, and ultimately get that buy-in, get that budget to keep growing and use the data. So yeah, exciting.
Amazing. Definitely go check out Bella and Duke, anyone watching. It's great. It's a great organization. So you've mentioned to me that Bella and Duke work in an agile environment across the business. So have you seen any challenges as such when adopting to this new way of working across the company?
Yeah, definitely. I guess like all changes, there's always challenges. So I guess the good thing was Agile was already being used quite a lot in our tech team, and then saw the benefit of that and how we could use it in data. And also similarly, we're now starting to explore how we can use it in other teams across the business. I think the biggest challenge is with all change, people and culture is probably the biggest challenge we've had against this. How most people struggle to move away from their comfort zone. So actually, how do you get them to work and think differently is a really big challenge, and just that bit that's always the hardest of how do you get people to adopt that change. I guess the good thing for us is we are founded sort of around the principle of challenging the status quo. One of our brand values is around be the change. So as we're adopting Agile, we sort of lean into that and keep reminding people that is, what we're founded on. We were founded to challenge the pet food business. So let's take that challenger mindset to how we actually run our teams, do projects, and all of that. Specifically for our data team, I think the biggest challenge around moving to Agile is one of the Agile principles of being done is better than being perfect. So we are naturally precision, all about the precision, all about the accuracy, that actually having to move away from that slightly to actually being 90% right is okay. So that was, again, I guess it's a people and culture thing, is for us to get our mindset sort of around that as a data team to actually adopt that principle. But it's worked really well, and I think being really aware of, we're on that sort of, it's a versioning, getting your head into that more product life cycle of, yes, it might not be perfect now, but we're calling this version 1. We'll make it better in version 1.1, 1.2, all of that sort of mindset we sort of try and adopt from our tech colleagues to help us overcome our need for perfection. I think is probably they're the main two challenges I think we've faced so far on that journey.
Okay. And what about the stakeholder buy-in as such? Have you seen any challenges with that, maybe at the beginning, or has this improved, or are you still facing those challenges?
Yeah, I mean, I think we still face some of them, but I do actually think Agile working has helped us with a lot of our stakeholder buy-in issues. So I guess the biggest thing for me, and I guess probably data people everywhere, is to challenge the misconception that data equals reporting or data equals dashboards. We need to get people to sort of move away from that we're just about statistics view to actually, we can provide you with tools to help you drive business decisions based on data. We're not just about the hindsight. We're about helping you go forwards with that. So Agile has actually really helped us with that stakeholder buy-in. Don't get me wrong, we're still on that journey. We still have it, they still, vast majority of things at the moment we get asked are all about reporting what happened in the past. I think in my mind, I think we'll have made it when people start asking us how can they do something in the future, and sort of where they bring us in the conversation. And I guess along with that is actually we make a lot of effort on stakeholder engagement and stakeholder buy-in. So every time I present about our data maturity roadmap, where we are, and where we're wanting to go. So we always talk about our roadmap to sort of get in their mindset that we're on this product versioning, sort of working our way through. And there's a reason why we're working through each of these items. It is to get us somewhere. So I'd say they definitely, that's definitely helped us. And also just allowed us as a team, we're a really small team. And we don't have the luxury that I've had in the past where I could lean on, really great teams of data engineers, data scientists, other people within the business. As a small team in an SME, we don't have that. We've got the tools. Our biggest issue is always resource. So actually what this has helped us with is progress our priorities. We still have that debate with our stakeholders, like why are we prioritising a project rather than their BAU or their ad hoc requests? Yeah. We're still on that journey, but actually we do have great buy-in from our stakeholders. I think the fact that we know that our business used Agile in tech, we know it's working. We've now demonstrated the case that it worked for data, and actually we're now seeing other teams in the business thinking about how they can use Agile principles. So in areas where they previously would have said no, so maybe like the marketing team, I think we're like, oh, we could never work in 2-week sprints. Actually, they're starting to think about, actually for some projects we could, and it would really help us. So I think we're getting there, and there is a shift in our business on changing to that way, which, we're still on that stakeholder buy-in journey, but it's definitely helped.
No, it sounds like it's going in the right direction for you guys. And
Definitely.
is there any other benefits that you see? I know you've probably talked through a little there. Has there been anything around, that cultural kind of mind shift as well within the team? Has that been quite positive? What other benefits would you say there are?
Yeah, I think the stakeholder engagement is actually really the biggest benefit. They're feeling part of the process. They're actually even, I think, probably for the first time ever in my career, excited about what data team are releasing. We constantly get asked, oh, when is this? oh, you're finishing your sprint, does that mean I get access to it next week? So actually that has been a big help in that they're actually buying into what we're doing, and they're excited about what we're doing. I don't think I've ever had someone excited to see a data model until now. Sad to say, but yes, it's true. And I guess it's also been really good, I guess, in terms of pulling teams together. Like I say, they feel part of the process. They don't feel like it's a black box anymore. The data team isn't black boxing anything. We are involving them in that process. And actually for then us as a data team, we've got quite a lot out of it as well. I think the biggest thing would probably be a sense of achievement. So actually a focused 2-week sprint, it's actually amazing the amount of work you can get completed in that focus, rather than a project sort of dragging on and you feeling like you're not making progress because you're trying to balance that project alongside another project alongside something else, and all of them seem to take time. Is actually we've got a real sense of achievement out of that. And I guess also that we are building something that's actually useful. So because we're building quite quickly, and because we're doing 2-week sprints with then stakeholder sort of catch-ups and sort of reviews and taking them through what we've done, we get that time to check that we're heading in the right direction. We are building what is still useful for the business. So the business, we work really quickly, we move through things really quick. Priorities change, actually, rather than taking a whole 3 months to deliver something, by quickly just breaking it into 2-week chunks allows us to check we're still building the right thing for people and that it is going to be useful for them. So yeah, it's I guess all wrapped into that sort of sense of achievement, which really encourages you and sort of keeps you going and keeps us ready for the next one.
Amazing. And I suppose, what would you say to organizations that are maybe in the same boat as you are, maybe in that kind of startup phase, scale up? What would you say to them when adapting to this new way of working, or they're in that position where they're trying to get that stakeholder buy-in? What would be the advice that you'd give?
I mean, in short, I'd say go for it. Like take the leap. It's hard. I mean, that's the hardest thing is taking that leap. I would say probably start small, like really be realistic, and maybe start small. The biggest thing that it helped us with was to help us progress some of our larger projects at the same time as fitting in our BAU and our ad hoc.
Okay.
So actually just picking a really, really small piece of one of the large things that we want to do as a business. So that was, things like building a customer value model, building new attribution, building out customer personas. We actually took our very first sprint with around coming up with roadmaps of how we build each of those models. And that was the whole purpose of that sprint, was actually to spend 2 weeks planning what we would then do next. And actually we achieved more than we thought, because not only did we do that planning, we actually got started on one of them in the 2 weeks. So I think, start small, because it's that age-old one of you're better to under promise, overachieve than the other way around. So definitely start small, take the leap, and it can be something that like we did that, it was very within our own team, so actually for doing it, we weren't needing to rely on lots of other teams being available. We kept the sprint team really quite small, kept it to our team, proved that actually we could work that way. It worked for us. We could see the benefits, so that then when we got to the next sprint, actually we were confident that actually we could ask other people, and ask them for support and be really honest with them that it works. And yes, you are, like, it won't drag on. It will be the 2 weeks. We've managed to box this time. We've sort of almost proved the case. But yeah, I think just give it a try. I mean, really, what do you have to lose? If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. And being honest, it doesn't work for everything.
Yeah.
Some projects do need, a full project life cycle. But I think break it down into really small chunks, and give it a go, and just be really clear on what your sprint objective is. So what do you want to achieve by the end of 2 weeks, and just keep focused on that. I think you'll be amazed at what you can actually achieve when you really focus and close off all the other distractions. And then I think for us, like, we were really honest as well. So as a small team, the first time we did it, we basically had to remove it, or almost shut ourselves off from the rest of the business. So we made sure that we picked the right time to do it as well. It wasn't a start of the month when we'd all loads of month end reporting to do, or we things for our board. We made sure that when we planned in our first one, and actually when we plan in every 2 week sprint, is we plan it at the right time in the month, that if we are focusing on that, we're not harming other areas of the business. And the first time we were actually really ruthless in that we said we would take no ad hoc requests, and we switched off our Slack notifications to everyone outside our team. We just kept it focused on the team. We had warned everyone we would do that. We gave them about a month's warning. We didn't just suddenly go radio silent. But actually, I think just setting everyone's expectations that we've boxed yourself off for that time. There's a reason, and actually you'll see the value of it at the other end. I think is really important. And yeah, like I say, being honest with people about why you're doing it. It's not that we're sitting for 2 weeks with our feet up, ignoring our Slack messages. It's because actually we are really focused on delivering something that ultimately will be of better value for them as the stakeholder. So yeah, I think just give it a go. Really, you never know what it could be.
There we go. So yeah, I think that's a very good bit of advice, and I think a lot of people in our audience today will really benefit from that as well, as we do have a lot of people that are in those kind of scale-up startup organisations, especially in your industry as well. Yes. So thank you, Hazel. Thank you for taking part in the Food for Thought series. It's been really great having you on today, and yeah, go check out Bello and Duke.
Great. Thanks, Natalia. Thanks for having me. It's been great.